Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of GiaconnaTV. If you can't be, travel through me. This time I figured we brighten up some of this gloomy weather, you know what I'm saying? And I figured I'd take y'all to Tennessee. So we took a little trip to Tennessee, man. We stayed at the Graceland, the guest house at Graceland. It was amazing, man. It was beautiful, of course. This is where like Elvis Presley would have his guests stay at this guest house. It was really beautiful. This is Elvis Presley's bar and diner. It was really jumping late at night. Oh my God. If you go up these stairs right here, that is where Elvis and Priscilla stayed when they would come to the guest house, actually. And this is one of the king bedroom suites. It was really nice. It was really nice. Actually, they had some iconic attire that Elvis wore on the walls. There was a unique touch about it. On the TV, they played Elvis music 24 hours a day. So that was really unique. In all my travels, I've never experienced something like that. So for you musician lovers, I know my father would probably go crazy over this. Then I decided to go get something to eat. So I stayed at B.B. King's restaurant. Shout out to BB right there. You know, I used to run around with his nephew. We used to be on tour with BB on and off. It was a lot of fun. So this was really heartwarming to me, touching for me, definitely. Of course, the aesthetic is blues musicians. And there were a lot of iconic paintings on the tables, as well as photographs of the legendary artists of the time that showed up to the restaurant and toured with BB. So it was really amazing. Of course, there's Lucille, the famous Lucille. There's been a lot of hits made with those guitars. Also, you had the house band. They were performing your favorite hits from all the artists. There's just a view of the bar. And also, if you wanted an elevated view of the performance and to enjoy your food, you could have sat upstairs. There was an upstairs and a downstairs. Of course, I chose downstairs. The food was amazing. It was worth the price of admission itself. And then I said, okay, well, I'm going to stroll on down Beale Street, you know. So I strolled down Beale Street. It was really popping. It was a Saturday night, so it was up. You know, there was a lot of people outside. There's a lot of stores and shopping and, you know, lounges and bars. And there's musicians outside and inside the venues. It was really, really, really different. You know, I can see the music ties to Memphis now. I get the full spectrum of why there's been so many musicians coming out of Memphis. Like I said, once again, you've got outdoor activities. You don't necessarily have to go into a bar or lounge or restaurant. There's bands playing outside, bands playing inside. I mean, it's a very interesting experience. Definitely, if you have the time, you know, time permitting, you definitely want to go to Tennessee and go to Memphis as well. As you can see, the people were out having a great time. It has a different aesthetic. It's almost a pop in, pop out. Pop in this bar, pop back outside. Walk back down, pop in another restaurant, pop back outside. You know, there's as much entertainment just on the streets as there is in the interior of the restaurants, lounges, etc. It's only about 3 or 4 blocks, so don't expect the enormity of Gaslamp or OKC or something like that. It's not as large as those. It's about 3 or 4 blocks, and then east-west, it's about 1 block over in each direction. And they do charge in the evenings to explore Beale Street, so make sure you're aware of that. As you walk down, of course, where Willie's is all over the world. And you do have law enforcement about every 3 blocks, trying to keep the patrons safe. So as I strolled, and did a few things here and a few things there. I said, well, I saw this one spot that was really, it was jumping at the time. It was all the way up. So I said, let me step in here real quick and see what's going on in this one. So, I slid into this place and I had a really great time. I met a few new people. As you can see, everyone is outside. But don't be fooled. They're on the interiors as well. Very mixed crowd, all demographics of people. It's really, really blended social setting. This is where I pulled in. I said, I'm going to go ahead and go into Sullivans. So as you step into Sullivans, you can see there's musicians on the interior. There's, just like I said, people standing, people sitting. Then you step outside in the rear of Sullivans. There's DJs, there's dancing, there's just people ordering food. I'm telling you, it's an amazing experience. You definitely want to put it on the bucket list. And one of the most amazing things I experienced was a bucket of liquor. Oh my God, I've never had that before. So it was definitely a pleasure. So thank you for tuning in to GiaconnaTV.